Hello, my name is Reverend Sandra Gatewood, and today I'm here to talk to you about a book I've written. And I believe that this book is something you must read, that you have to get a hold of. This book is dealing with the future, the apocalyptic future of this world. There are things in here you have to know. There are things in here you should know. I hope that you'll come back and listen more about what it is I have to say to you that's written in this book.
In a tattoo parlor on trendy South Beach,
Did the 666 really big?
sat the daughter of the man who claims to be God.
He's back. He's here to teach us that we should reign in life, that there is no sin, and today we're honoring him with a symbol.
Joanne de Jesus is one of several dozen members of a religious sect called Creciendo en Gracia, or Growing in Grace. They were tattooed on their arms, ankles, even their necks with 666, the biblical sign of the Antichrist. Why? Because their spiritual leader says he is the Antichrist, not the embodiment of evil, but rather the second coming.
666, Antichrist means do not put your eyes on Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Put it in Jesus after the cross.
And that's you.
That's me.
Andy says the word Antichrist is a bad translation of a word that actually means the new Christ, the second coming. Puerto Rican-born Jose Luis de Jesus Miranda founded the sect 20 years ago in a warehouse outside Miami.
You receive it, you accept it, you confess it, and it's done unto you.
The charismatic 61-year-old de Jesus claims millions of followers, most in Latin America. His sect does have hundreds of churches, cable TV stations, and says it brought in $1.4 million in donations last year. And he boasts of a rapidly growing presence in the United States. In an interview with us in September, he declared,
I do greater things than Jesus of Nazareth. Much greater.
now sporting his new tattoos,
6, 6, 6. Triple S. Huh?
De Jesus says those expecting the second coming of Christ on a cloud with angels have misinterpreted what Jesus himself said.
He said it. You won't see me anymore because he will come in another body, which is me.
He's in your head. He's inside the heads of those people.
De Jesus is dangerous, says religion professor Daniel Alvarez, because he believes he's God.
These megalomaniacal moves are the ones that are very disturbing because it shows that he does believe he's on hype and he's capable of saying to his members, go tattoo 666 on your arm. I believe he's also capable of asking his church members to do even something more dramatic than that.
De Jesus laughs at the implication.
They always say those things. They're going to keep waiting for me to kill everybody, you know.
Right.
I'm giving life to people.
De Jesus is referring to the suicide death of more than 900 killed in the so-called Jonestown Massacre nearly 30 years ago. But he says mass suicide would never happen with his followers.
If somebody tells us, listen, drink some Kool-Aid and then we'll go to heaven, that's not true. We are already in heavenly places.
De Jesus preaches that heaven can be found here on earth simply by following him. There's no sin and there is no hell. And that's part of why he's attracting so many followers. But marking your body with 666 seems an unusual way to show you're a Christian.
Welcome back. I'd like to ask you a question. What did you think about that clip that you just saw? Did it cause you to think about your future and the planet Earth? Again, I want to tell you some more about my book that God had me to write. I began to write this book after the Lord led me to out of a vision that he gave me some years ago. In this vision, I had an out-of-body experience and I traveled into time. and I saw things that I didn't even want to mention. I heard things that I didn't want to hear. But God explicitly told me that I was to do this one day, that I was to write a book and let people know some of the things that are going to happen on the planet Earth in the future. I hope that you'll be concerned enough to want to know about the things that are going to happen in the future of this planet. I hope you'll be concerned enough to pick up this book, to go purchase this book, read this book, find out things that you did not know, that you should know. Find out things that you were curious about, that you didn't know. I really hope it's a must read. It's going to inform you of some things that are going to take place that I don't think that you have thought of. When I had this out-of-body experience, I traveled into a dimension that was terrifying beyond words. I wanted to come back, but I couldn't come back because the Lord wouldn't allow me to come back, because he wanted me to have this experience so that you could learn about the future and the things to come, things that God would have you to avoid if at all possible. But he wants you to be aware. He wants you to know of what potentially could happen in this earth. The floodings, the disasters, the murders, the killing, the blood, the gore, the immorality, the good versus the evil, even the evil being good and the good being evil. You have to get this book. You have to read it. You have to find out the things that are going to concern your destiny, your future. I really, truly hope that you will read this book, that you will find this book. It's a must read for everybody, for the believer, for the unbeliever, for whoever you are, from whatever status of life that you live in. You need to know. It is urgent. It is important that you get this book and that you read it and that you find out what's going to happen in the future. If you're interested in getting this book, you can simply go on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and order it. I would be so glad if you would do that, because I know the Lord would be glad if you would do that, so that you can find out the things that you need to know, the things that you need to understand, the people that you need to read about in here who are going to speak to you and let you know historically on this planet what potentially could happen to planet. At this time, I'd like to inform you as to how you can purchase this very important and pertinent book in your life. You can purchase it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and you can also contact me at my email address, sandybobo777@live.com. I really think you need to get this book and find out what potentially can take place in the future. The things that I saw, I want to share them with you. The things that God revealed to me when he took me into this time travel, I want you to know about it too. And you know, we never knew or thought there would be a Twin Towers. We never knew that all those people would lose their lives and die. We never knew of the earthquakes and the wars and the rumors of wars that are taking place in the earth. But they're happening. Tragedies are everywhere, floodings, tsunamis. And I talk about these things at a higher level and a deeper depth in this book. And I give a greater insight into that part. A supernatural thing happened, and I want you to be a part of it. Get the book, BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com. You can also tweet me, and you can also reach me at SandraGatewood@Yahoo. I would love to hear from you, hear about your comments, and I'd love to hear how you enjoyed the book. You can also go to Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and give me a review. I would really appreciate it. I really hope you'll purchase the book.